fucking serious? What is this? Alright, I'm jumping the gun here. Jumping the gun a little bit. No, I'm not. Why the fuck is he alive? Fucking goddamn different ass translation again. I'm upset. I'm fucking fuck you in particular, Tetsuya Nomura. Oh my god. The fuck did I just play? The fuck did I just play, guys? I'm glad that they gave credit to Nobuo Uematsu though. Basically, yeah. Basically, he gets to do what the fuck he wants. And he already did whatever the fuck he wants. It doesn't matter, because that's what this game is. He just gets to do whatever the fuck he wants. I don't know. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, so part of the problem is that, like, yeah, this is not the final game. We still have more games to go through. So I can't definitively say that this is a bad story. I don't like it. I don't like the direction that they took with it. Like, I'm fine with them taking liberties because, again, it's a remake. It's not just a scaled up version of Final Fantasy VII. Literally, it's in its title, Final Fantasy VII Remake. So it's a different game, but it's like a completely different game now. And like, there are examples where that's okay. For example, Evangelion. But I think Evangelion did it better because in Evangelion, in Evangelion 1.1, they basically just rehashed the first couple of angel fights. It was just a shot-by-shot, better animation version of the beginning of Evangelion. But then in 2.2, they started adding some stuff, and they slowly started changing things. Like they added the new character Mari. I forget if she was in the first one or not. But they introduced her, so that was already fucking weird. Then in 3.3, they were just like, fuck it, everything is different now. It's a completely different game now, or a different show. But it was interesting because it didn't so much change the story as it gave you an additional look at what would happen beyond what just happened in the original Evangelion. And that's what I liked. It basically stayed true to most of Evangelion, but then Evangelion ended in such an obscure and abstract way that it left it wide open for anything that anything could happen. So with 3.3, at least in the way that I interpret it, it felt like this is actually the epilogue. We're actually going to explain and give you a definitive answer of what happened at the end of Evangelion. And I think that's really cool. But then they also kind of they changed some things and they added some things. So like it's interesting. But this is just like, I mean, again, mind you, I haven't played 7. I haven't played 7 since high school, so it's been a long time. I don't remember a lot of 7. 7's not my favorite. I like 7 a lot. 7's important to me. 7 is basically what pushed me along to want to become a game designer. That got me into stories, and it's because of 7 why I want to be a writer and a designer. So 7's very important to me, but like that's kind of the funny thing was that I played 7 when I was like 7. It came out in '97. I was 7 when it came out. 7 or 8, and then I finally played it like seriously in high school, so I was like 14, 15. And then I was like, oh wow, this story's weird. I don't really understand what the hell's going on half the time. So I realized that like it wasn't my favorite game anymore. But I mean, I still hold it as a huge influence on who I am today. But like, I hate the whispers, the firas or whatever they're called in Japanese. I hate them. They literally, it is literally Nomura writing in his story like, oh, just in case I don't know what the fuck I to do here, we have these ghost people who can control fate and do whatever the fuck I want. And I don't have to explain it. I don't have to make any sense. It's just God. God is here and he can just change things for me when I write myself in a corner. And that's terrible writing. That is such terrible writing. I think it's okay to have situations like that, but they have to be done sparsely and generally only happen at the very end. Or if you're gonna have it in the middle, like it doesn't really matter. You do it once. But he shoved in a Deus Ex Machina so he can just be like, I'm gonna do whatever I want now. That character, like, yeah, I'm gonna kill him, but I'm not gonna kill him now. And that other character, you know, he's gonna die. There's no reason why he should die, but he's gonna die now. Basically, that's exactly what they are. They're plot ghosts. I mean, they might not be. They might. I don't know. And that's the reason. And that's. We'll see what happens when we get to that point. When the next game comes in, then we'll see. You know, anything can happen. You know, and maybe that's what Nomura is trying to say to us. He's trying to be like, hey, fuck you people who love Final Fantasy VII's original story. I'm gonna go shit all over it, and I'm gonna write you guys into my story as ghosts who are assholes. Like that's yeah. It doesn't need it. Like, I don't need the story to be exactly the same, but there has to be. I don't know. I can't judge. I can't judge until we see the actual ending. I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, but they kind of already spoiled a lot of really big moments. And I don't know where they're gonna. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know where they're gonna go from here. I disagree with the fact that they brought in Sephiroth like that so soon. Sephiroth should not be the final boss. But who knows? Maybe the final version of Sephiroth will be his fucking weird winged tentacle balls version. I don't fucking know. I mean, they might. Exactly. Who the fuck knows? We don't know. We don't know. I don't know. I don't like the ghosts. I think the ghosts are dumb. Yeah, I like this is it. This is not Final Fantasy 7 anymore. This is Final Fantasy 7 remake. It's a whole new game. It's a whole new story. So I just can't make a judgment until I see the very end. I think a lot of this is really silly. You're right? Final Fantasy 7R 1.1, 2. Yeah, no, he's right. They're just gonna copy. I can kind of see those 3 bosses being Kadaj, Yazoo, and Laz. That's a pretty good example. I try to forget those characters. I try to forget that they existed because they were dumb. Like especially Yazoo and Laz. I never fucking remember. I never knew their names. They were just fucking Kadaj's lackeys. That's all they were to me. One of them fought Tifa. And that's it. That's all I really remember. And the other one like died on the bike when he fought against Cloud, I think. I don't even remember. And then fucking Kadaj just fucking Genova's head and then turned into Sephiroth. So like he was pointless. They're dumb characters. They're useless. They are nothing but plot devices so that we to be forced to force the fight between Cloud and Sephiroth to happen again. And that's what they're trying to go with. Like he's really trying to force in Advent Children's story. That was the big thing about Advent Children, which made no sense. Again, and also I don't remember how the fuck Sephiroth survived. In the original Final Fantasy 7, Cloud kills Sephiroth. Basically, Sephiroth comes to Cloud's hometown, burns it to the ground because there's an underground research facility there that's housing Genova, or something. I forget what his reasonings. I think yeah, it was housing Genova. I think actually. So he goes, burns the city down, burns the town down, goes downstairs, kills Tifa's dad. Tifa sees her dad. Is that when she's wearing like the cowboy outfit? And that's where she goes like, Zenbu Kirai Kirai. Or Subita Kirai, I forget what she says exactly, but anyways, I hate everything. So then she picks up the sword, Sephiroth's sword, and tries to attack Sephiroth, but Sephiroth, like, I think he actually stabs her. Like, I think he actually stabs her in the game, but I don't remember, I could be wrong. And then Cloud sees that, and then that's when he goes kind of crazy, and then he stabs Sephiroth and kills him. Fucking stabs him and then just throws him off. It was pretty funny. So Sephiroth is dead. Like I honestly don't remember how Sephiroth comes back, because what happens is you just kind of go to the Shinra building and you're doing your shit. You're going there to save Aerith, and you're also like gonna like I guess do something else. But then when you get up to the executive floor where the actual president of Shinra is sitting, and he's dead already. He's been stabbed by Sephiroth. So you follow the blood trail and you go and you find Sephiroth, and you're like, oh shit, Sephiroth's still alive, what the fuck? But then shit happens, and then you run away, and then basically Shinra I think puts a wanted thing on you basically. So you can't, that's why you have to escape Midgard. So that's why you leave Midgard, and I kind of don't really remember what happens next. Shit happens, and then you find out that Cloud isn't actually a soldier first class, and then he just pretends to be Zack. Because yeah, after he kills Sephiroth, he goes into like a coma, I think, and then that's where Zack finds him, and then just basically just lugs him around. And then yeah, that scene where he fights against all of those Shinra security officers and whatnot, that's where Zack is supposed to die. Like he gets killed right there, and that's literally like, you know, he gets killed, and then he goes to Cloud, like, and he's just like, you know, I hope you survive, Cloud, and Cloud just kind of like ignores him and then walks up, grabs the sword, and just like, and walks away. And I can't stop but imagining like that meme where the two guys, and like one guy goes up to another guy and he's like, I created this, and gives it to the other guy. The guy's like, you created this. Then the other guy leaves and is like, I created this. So it's like Cloud's just like, Zack comes up to him and is like, I'm Zack, I'm Soldier First Class. You're Soldier First Class. He leaves. I'm Soldier First Class. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's right, they did summon Bahamut, didn't they? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what people see in this game. I don't know why they think that it's beautiful. I'm like, it is beautiful. Like, graphically, visually, it's gorgeous. I don't like what they did to Tifa. Like, not like, her boobs are, like, gigantic still, and I think they're perfectly great. I love her redesign. I think her redesign's amazing. But, and this, again, like, I might not remember Tifa very well, but I feel like they made Tifa way too soft in this game. I always imagined and remember Tifa as being a lot harder. She wasn't, like, rough, but I felt like she was a lot tougher in the original 7, and she felt so, like, unsure of herself all the time, and she's like, oh, Cloud, I love you, Cloud, but I can't say anything, but I just can't stop thinking about Cloud. It's just like, Jesus Christ, Tifa. I feel like she should be a lot sterner than that. Yeah, I don't fucking, like, that's all I remember is that Sephiroth believes that the world belongs to him because he believes that he is, an ancestor as well. That's why he calls Jenova his mother and everything. I forget whether he actually is or not. But he, yeah, he believes that he's an ancestor, and he believes that the world belongs to ancestors only. So he wants to throw down Meteor to destroy the world so that basically the ancestors can reclaim the planet. I don't actually even remember why he kills Aerith, but he's supposed to kill Aerith. He kills Aerith. I think he kills her because he sees her as a threat, and she might actually be a threat to him, being the only other ancestor in existence. But yeah, I don't fucking know. I'm gonna have to go replay Final Fantasy VII. Honestly, this makes me want to replay Final Fantasy VII. I think I might do that. I've already gone on and on about the battle system, but like, on paper, I love the battle system. I actually think the battle system is a really good battle system. In practice, it needs to go through a few more iterations. I feel that, in practice, they just didn't design the encounters well to make the battle system feel good. Yeah, no, exactly. Hey, dude, buy it. Like, 7, I think, is a fantastic game. It's still a fantastic game. It's still a great story. Yes, graphically it doesn't stand out, but at this point, I think it's kind of charming how deformed and weird the characters all look and whatnot. Alright, where's my controller? Fucking threw it away. Oh, nice. Oh, thank God, I hate the bike minigame. So there are manuscripts. How do I know what manuscripts I've like gotten? And what are manuscripts actually? I don't even like know what the fuck they are. Ah, okay, okay. So I didn't realize they were called manuscripts. Okay, okay, I see. I just knew them as the thing that gives me more SP. I really don't like that you can't use items. I feel like that's kind of silly. Did I level? Shit. Weapons still didn't level up all the way. I did a lot though before the end. But yeah, battle system needs a lot of refinement. I truly believe. I think that it's. Let's see. The biggest thing is enemy encounters. I feel like the enemies aren't designed around a single idea. They kind of bounce back and forth. Like, I figured that like the stagger should be the main focus. That everything should be about trying to stagger your opponent. So that means that yeah, like you have to. That's the puzzle. That's the puzzle of the battle. You have to figure out how do you stagger this enemy. What do I need to do? What different kinds of skills and abilities and attacks do I need to chain together to be able to build up this enemy stagger gauge so I can stagger them and then start dealing a lot of damage. Like that should be the focus of the battle. Very rare. It should be very rare where like staggering is actually not the goal of the battle, or for that particular fight. I think like the perfect example is Persona. I think Persona does this the best. Basically, every battle it comes down to finding their weakness and then exploiting the fuck out of the weakness, and then surviving until you are able to again exploit the weakness and then continue doing that. Boss battles, there are only a handful usually of bosses that don't have a weakness, but then when they don't have a weakness, then it starts becoming a different game because they also have the sub system where you should be building your characters. You have the freedom to build your characters so that you can really deck them out and survive and figure out ways to either output large amounts of damage. So if they don't have weaknesses, then you can start building up different skills that buff your characters so that they deal more damage. But then there's also ones where you can like buff your characters so that you dodge better, you attack, you defend better. So I feel like it's a lot more fun to figure out like the puzzle in Persona. In this one again, like that should be what you're doing. You should be figuring out how do I stagger this enemy, and as you're trying to figure that out, as you're testing different abilities, you finally figure it out, then you stagger them, and they're like, yay! I do all my big damage, and I feel really good about that. But then this is also supposed to be like an action game, so like there should be some action elements to it, but I feel like the action elements aren't that great either because like your dodge kind of sucks. I totally forgot to use the parry for Tifa, but like those boss battles just were kind of they're kind of rough, so I didn't really feel like I was doing anything when I was dodging shit. Like I was just healing a lot of the time, which I mean is okay, but I don't know, it didn't feel like I was doing anything well. And I think that's the biggest problem is like I don't feel like I'm doing anything cool. I don't feel like I'm earning anything. I'm just kind of like struggling along, trying to get that stagger and then dealing a lot of damage. Like the only time I really felt really good was when I was playing Tifa in the Shinra combat simulator, and I was like, all right, cool. I know how to stagger people, and I was able to properly prepare all of her skills so that I can just completely destroy the enemy once I staggered them. Like that felt so good when I was able to do that. And that never really happened because I just ended up just getting stun locked all the time. Like that was so fucking annoying when fighting against Sephiroth. Like as like I needed Aerith to heal me, and it's like she's way too fucking slow, so it takes fucking forever to build up your ATB bar as her. And then that's the other thing I hate. It's just like you can't build ATB bars unless you're playing as a character, and I really wish that you can. And like even with the AT like the steadfast block, because the enemy focuses on the player controlled character, when your AI partners are not being controlled and they're just standing there blocking, doing nothing but blocking, they're not earning ATB. And I feel like the game would be a lot more fun if the ATB like just grew a little bit, increased faster for characters that you weren't controlling. Okay, cool. So I figured that, like, yeah, if you collect all the manuscripts, you can max out all the weapons. I had a feeling that if you get to max level, you wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that's true too. Like, even if it just gave you a little bit of time where the enemies didn't just like immediately turn around and focus the new character that you're controlling, I think that would be a good salute. It'd be an okay solution. It wouldn't solve all the problems, but it would give you more breathing room, and it would feel better. You would feel like you're doing stuff. You'd feel like you're being you're using tactics. That's the other thing that I think that the game needs, is it needs an aggro system. Like if it actually had a proper aggro system where you balanced your aggro rather than just like, oh, just everyone attacks me when I'm controlling my character, I think it would be really cool. Because what would end up happening, like even as something as simple as damage and healing, like in MMOs already have really great aggro systems. So like if you deal ridiculously large amounts of damage, then they start aggroing you. So one of the strategies could be like, I choose Tifa, go in, start dealing shit tons of damage, and then they start aggroing me. So I'm like, cool, now I can switch over to Aerith and start healing people, or I can start prepping spells so that I can start throwing that out. You do big ass spells. Damn, you did a huge amount of damage. Oh, now they're focusing on Aerith. So I gotta figure out a different way to like draw the aggro away from Aerith so that she can start casting spells again. Like that stuff like that would be really cool. That's the other thing I really hate. I really hate that items and spells use up ATB. I really think that items shouldn't use ATB, or if they have to use ATB, use a portion rather than an entire ATB. Like I feel that was stupid. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we were talking about the same thing. Threat mechanics, aggro, bit. Yeah, yeah. I do know that when they're pressured, that they are more susceptible to stagger. However, I never got a good impression or a good idea of when they get pressured and why they get pressured. It just felt like it just happened. I was like, oh, okay, they're pressured now, cool. The reason why I just didn't bother learning it more properly was because I kept on reading. I started reading many enemies, which is like, oh, this person can't be staggered unless this very specific moment, or this person can't be staggered, or you stagger this person, they push you away, or you stagger this person, bam, stagger's gone. So I was just like, what the fuck is even? I don't even care anymore. I'm not gonna learn I'm not gonna learn how they stagger. I'm just gonna deal damage. I don't give a shit anymore. And that's the problem. That's what I hate, is that you have the system, but then half your enemies don't even utilize the system. So why do I even bother learning how the system works anymore? I'm just gonna do damage. That's it. Just gonna mash on the damage button, do damage skills, and that's it. I don't care anymore, because I have to memorize every single enemy that does something different, but then I can't do everything because I don't have everything equipped to every character. All my characters are limited to what abilities I can bring with them, and unless I know beforehand what I'm going to face, which I generally don't, how am I supposed to be prepared for that? Like, I should be able to have a generalized, and this is how I play, I used to have basically almost everything. I want to be able to have a solution for every situation without having to constantly be switching around stuff. So I build my party so that I am ready for a variety of situations. I don't like being in a situation where I can't deal with it. I prefer to have a good solution for it. Even if it's not the best solution, it is a solution that speeds things along a little bit. Um, I just used Infinity Edge on pressure when they're pressure because I just wanted the damage. That's it. I like I said, I just gave up. I gave up on figuring out when they're staggered or not. Um, Multiplayer could help, but then the I think that just goes into the threat, going into a threat system or an aggro system. I honestly I think just an aggro system would be the best. Multiplayer would trivialize this game a lot, I think, because everyone would be too efficient. Even if you weren't like the best at this game, just having multiple people control the characters would make the game a little bit too would make it too easy. So they would have to design it around the multiplayer, and they don't have time to do that. To either split up your combat designers to focus on multiplayer would mean that you now have your designers split into two groups, and that's half the quality of what just a singular just focusing on one or the other would do. So unfortunately, I think it would be interesting, but to design the entire game around it, I think would not work so well. Because the other thing that I like, because I like the switching. I like the switching between characters. I think that's actually a really, really fun aspect of this game. Being able to want to switch to different characters to do different things, to handle different situations, I think is actually really fun. I wanted to do that. I wanted to be able to switch characters though, so that I can do better strategies rather than, oh, my character got stunned, I gotta switch characters. Oh, my character got stunned, or my character got blown up, so I gotta switch characters. But yeah. I mean, like, the quickest fix would be that, to just have a little bit of leeway before a character, like, targets you, after you switch characters. I think would really help. Yeah, and I think that would be good, because then it would that would go into the idea of forcing you to change characters, and I think that's a positive thing. You should be changing characters often, because like they've made each of the characters be more individualized rather than being kind of a slot for you to just build whatever you want. I prefer having a character that I can build how I want rather than being forced to play them how the designers want me to play them. But if you're gonna have me, if you're gonna have the characters be focused on a specific role, then have me switch between the characters more often. But then have them have very specific things that they can do, like I made Tifa basically just become a damage dealer. I think Cloud should have been like a stagger. I think like having, or like actually swapping them would be better. I think Tifa should have been the she does have a lot of abilities that are meant to stagger. Where do I check my abilities again? There we go. Like what do we have here? Pressure that deals damage, stagger. Oh yeah. Oh, I should have used that. But the reason why I stopped using all of her abilities was because one, I was just like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. Just damage. I just want to deal damage. I don't care. Because like nothing felt like it was doing enough. I didn't ever feel like it didn't feel like the gains were enough for me to warrant doing that when I was just like, I'm just gonna deal damage. The damage, it like builds up stagger anyway, so fuck it, I'll just do that. I'll just keep on doing damage, and then I'll get the stagger eventually, so then I'll do more damage when they finally are staggered. I think what they should have done was they should have had like Tifa be a pure stagger character, where her damage actually is really low, but her stagger is really high. So you focus on having her be in there dealing the stagger, and then once, and then maybe she has like a couple of abilities that deal extra damage only when they're staggered. So then yeah, you build the stagger, then you use her to stagger the enemy. Then you have Cloud be a damage dealer, and he deals huge amounts of damage. Then you can have Aerith be more of the kind of middle ground who can where her spells can either deal lots of damage or can deal lots of stagger, and it's up to you to decide which one you would prefer to have her concentrate on. And then Barrett, is the range character, and he can also kind of go in between the two, or something like that. I don't know. But I would have liked something like that. Or build your characters around choosing between stagger or damage, and it's up to you how you want to build them to choose between the two. Good morning, Arcanine. I just finished FF7, so you get to hear me complain. In before FF7R Comrades DLC. Yeah. Sorry, Arcanine. I don't. Right now, I'm just talking about combat. I just got to work. Well, thank you for dropping by, man. I appreciate you listening in a little bit. Right now, yeah, I'm giving my qualms about the combat system right now. I don't hate it. I do enjoy the combat system. On paper, I think design-wise, it's a well-designed combat system, but I think it needs a lot of work still. But both me and Miko kind of agree that it still needs a bit of work. Shit. Yeah. I don't know what else is there for me to really say about the combat system. Kind of wish there were. Materia. I wish that there were more materia that did interesting combinations. Like this whole linking thing, I think, is one of the coolest aspects of Final Fantasy VII. And when they gave this idea of like, oh, you can link your elemental attacks with your physical attacks, I was like, oh shit, that's actually really, really cool. In the beginning, like, you will eventually when you fight certain enemies. Yeah. Oh god, airborne. Okay, thank you. Yes, I'll get to airborne enemies in a second. Yeah, early on, there's not too many things that you can stagger. It's weird because like I actually didn't have much trouble. Every time I met up with Chadley, I already had most of the stagger ones finished. It was only like after the third time, so the third set of gold that he gave me, that I actually didn't have it all completed. So basically what I would say is just don't worry about it too much. Just keep on playing, and eventually you'll start meeting enemies that you will have to stagger more and more. If you are having trouble, still pay close attention to your active abilities, so your abilities that use up ATB bar. Read them carefully, because a lot of them do have abilities that will, like, say, increases stagger and the like. Oh yeah, I should have been using that. But that's what I mean. Like, I like, you only get 2 bars of ATB. Your ATB, like, ever, unless you use refocus, which again I think is stupid. They like, refocus should not cost your limit bar. If anything, it maybe costs half your limit bar, but your entire limit bar is stupid. I think that's a complete waste. Just for 3 ATB bars. Like, it should, if you want to do it, give you 4 ATB bars. Double my ATB bar if you're gonna make me waste my limit break just so I can use this ability. Plus, it uses up an entire materia space, so like you're losing out on stuff anyways. I mean, like, just going back to, like, whenever it says, like, significantly increases stagger, but like, it never felt like the stagger bar was actually increasing when I would use these abilities. So that's why I stopped using them. I mean, also I forgot that certain abilities did do that, so maybe that's just on me. Maybe I just failed at not paying attention closely enough. But again, I was doing fine without it. It felt like. Exactly, Mako. It really does feel like the game wants you to switch characters, but it also doesn't want you to switch characters. And then, like, that pissed me off so much. I got so annoyed at this end, towards the end of the game, because it forced me to use characters that I didn't want to use. Like I don't care about Barrett. Like, I'm sorry. Barrett is just like, I don't care about using him. Like, I'd rather have Aerith in my party. I want to keep Aerith there always, just always. I don't want to have to constantly be switching characters. But then, like, yeah, then the game is just like, nope, you gotta use the characters that we're gonna force you to use. So I was like, oh fuck, I don't have all the proper materia, and like I have my characters built a specific way. So like I need those materia in my party. So I gotta swap my materia. And I was just like, what the fuck? I don't want to do that. Like, I understand why they're doing it, because they, like, one, they don't have that many characters. Two, they just want me to, they want to make it feel like, oh, you gotta use these other characters because they're very important. And like, yeah, it stops what happens in every RPG where you're like, hey, here's this entire cast of characters, but fuck everyone else. I'm only gonna use my main party and that's it. And I get that. I get, like, you don't want that to happen, but it's just like, ugh, it just annoyed me. Yeah, I know you've mentioned. He might be great, man. Like, he might be actually a really good character. But like, Kimari is the best character in Final Fantasy X, and I still don't give a shit. I don't want to use Kimari. I want to use the characters I want to use. I want to use Aerith because she's cute. She's a waifu. I want waifus in my team. I will attempt Tar mode. I'll be doing it by myself though, on my own time. Unfortunately, like, I won't be streaming until I'll stream again on the weekend, for Backseat Boost, because I totally forgot that was happening this weekend. So I'll do that just because I know that we've all been waiting for it for a long time, and we all really want to play it together. So like, I'd really like to do that. So probably that'll be my last stream is this weekend, playing Maxi Booth. Yeah, no, I know. Probably same time, but I'll have to see. I'll double check the time for when the beta starts, and then kind of make up a time then. Maybe we'll just I'll do a long ass stream. I'll just stream from the morning until the night, and just like take breaks in between to get food and whatnot. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, no, Aerith is paper thin. Aerith is really, 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 really weak. But I don't care. She's cute. I don't care. I want to make it. That's the thing about RPGs. RPGs are supposed to be in a way where you can make that kind of stuff work. You can make characters work. That's why she's there. If she's not there, then what's the point of having her as a character? Yeah, it starts at like 3 a.m. on Saturday. It's pretty crazy. But yeah. So I'll probably do that. Probably like stream all Saturday, most of Sunday, and then call it. Figure out. Then I have to figure out life and shit. We'll see. Maybe things will work out with my mom a little bit better, and she won't be as crazy about kicking me out and stuff. But I don't know. Damn, 9k HP. That's pretty good. I have a feeling that they want you to utilize this more. Because like they said that if you equip 2 of them, you get plus 100%. So basically, you can double your HP. So like what happens if So I'm at 42. So I get another 1282, which is pretty good. I probably should give Aerith HP up too, to be honest. But I don't have any more space. I didn't even fucking use barrier. I probably just... Oh shit! Damn, 9,999. Damn, that's pretty good. Yeah, Tifa also is pretty paper. She's made of paper as well. But also, like, I just decked her damage up. I mean, she's at 332. Okay, 5k-ish. Alright, Arcanine. I want to give out some more closing thoughts on the story, so I don't think you want to stick around for that. But I do appreciate you dropping by and everything. Good luck with work. I'm gonna be heading to bed pretty soon. It's 3 a.m. here, so I gotta go to bed. It's fucking late. I'm hungry too. I gotta eat something. I gotta get something to eat. I'm so warmed up right now because I'm so angry. I am so. I mean, I'm not that angry. I'm just kind of like whatever. I will say that the very fucking beginning, I was like, this game stinks of Nomura. Like, I could just immediately tell that Nomura had his dirty little hands. Well, Aerith is a very definition of a glass cannon. Yeah, she deletes things, but then she also gets deleted. That's how glass cannons work, and I like that. I like having glass cannons in my team. You know, honestly, I don't even know what else to say. I really don't know what else to say. I just have to wait. I just have to wait until we get the next game, and you know, if whether the next game is the final game or if we get a third or a fourth. Oh god, if we got a fourth game, I don't know if I can stick around until a fourth game. Especially if this is the shit that we get. Yeah, I think it's too soon. I honestly think it's way too soon to introduce Sephiroth. If they were gonna introduce Sephiroth so soon, then I hope you're either muted or you left or you're Arcanine, because I'm going in right now. I'm going in hard. So I suggest this is your warning. Leave spoiler territory right now. If they were going to introduce Sephiroth, then he should have been like either a cutscene or a single fight. Like a single, very quick fight where he kicks your ass. Where he just goes and he just kicks your ass. Because if he's supposed to be the final boss, like, and he's supposed to be the final boss, I'll do this when I'm not talking about spoilers anymore. So spoilers right now. Okay, so this is spoilers. Final Fantasy 7R plus 6, bringing it full circle to Versus 13, because that's what Nomura wants. He fucking just wants to recreate the Versus 13 again. Like someone mentioned it, but like I said that when I saw the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh my god, that pissed me off so much. Like, oh my god, Nomura, get over yourself. You fucked up. You could not finish Versus 13. You could not finish 15. It's your own goddamn fault. You were given well over 10 years to make that game. No, at that point, that's just incompetence. You don't deserve it. So stop. Just fucking stop, man. And then, yeah. So, oh my god, it just bugs me. It just bugs me so much that they decided to give us this final fight. And like, I can see them writing it like, oh, that wasn't the real Sephiroth, or that wasn't my full power. Here's my full power coming up. But like, it's kind of like in Star Wars, in the new sequel trilogy. Kylo Ren is the final boss, but we beat Kylo Ren in every single movie. Oh, okay. Well, then I guess he's not really that cool. So then, like, he just was not a great villain. And then I know, like, Palpatine became the villain, but that fucking was pulled out of their asses anyways, and that was also pretty fucking dumb, so I hated that too. Good thing, okay, I've been ragging on this game a lot. I will say that these characters are written really, really well. I definitely felt like all the characters were well written, well understood, and well characterized. They actually understood who these characters were and actually gave them something of a character arc. I felt Cloud coming in being very cold and standoffish, but then he slowly started opening up, and they did that really well. They gave it was nice and subtle through, and it slowly opened up throughout the entire game, so that was good. Yes, oh yeah, definitely. They are all well designed. They all look beautiful. I love the redesigns. All the redesigns are perfect. They really encapsulate what made all the characters original, and they brought it to the modern era. I thought that was amazing. I mean, like what are you gonna do about that? Like they spent so much time on the graphics. If they made everything at the level that they made the characters and the side characters, the game would never have been done. They would never finish it. And I mean, like, I think that they got the environments right when they needed to be right. The ones that didn't need to be right, I wasn't pulled out of the moment in those moments. So, in those places, so I think I wouldn't say like they were all really bad. In fact, like I don't know, I kind of like I thought the environments were pretty good for the most part. I can't really think of anything that like stood out that I absolutely hated. Yeah, no, some like yes, there were quite a few skybosses that were pretty bad. Those like again, looking at the slums, I was just like, wow, total architecture. It might have been, but I don't think so. I think that they did this willingly. They did this knowingly. They knew that certain that they needed to put resources in certain places, and a lot of those background stuff is just not important. So they just could not be bothered to do that. Yeah, no, characters are great. I fucking love Jesse. But Jesse's dead. So, I'm sad. I'm actually really sad. Damn it. Jesse was probably one of the best characters, I think, in this game, to be honest. Jesse was like, I fucking loved Jesse. And this is not just because she's a waifu. Like, she was actually a really, really fun character to listen to follow. I loved her super directness with Cloud. I thought it was adorable. I mean, yeah, no, she might be alive. Yeah, you never fucking know. You don't know, like oh my god. And like, it's hard because I also love Aerith. Aerith was my, I think Aerith is probably my first waifu. Yeah, no, I think Aerith was my first waifu. I love Aerith, and I love Aerith even more in this game. She was done so well. Maybe she's an actress. Yeah, maybe. But I loved Aerith. I loved her so much. They wrote her really well as well. I enjoyed listening to her. I love seeing her interact. I love seeing her just kind of move and talk. Like, I loved everything about her except for the ending. I hated that ending. I hate the way that, like, she's just like, I'm suddenly really smart and can do everything. Ha ha ha. I know everything. And I'm just like, what the fuck? But then that's also because I just don't like the ending. So whatever. Aerith is great. I already gave my qualms about Tifa. Tifa, I felt, was far too soft. She needed to be harder. They needed to actually like do something about like that long time. Like, Tifa shouldn't just be like, oh, Cloud, take me now. Spread my legs for you, even though like I haven't seen you in like ages, and this is the first time that I got to see you again, or like, react to the way that Cloud's like acting super cold to you or some shit. Like give me something. Don't just like take everything in stride. And I just hate that like she's constantly had to be saved all the fucking time by Cloud. I was like, Jesus, come on, Tifa can take care of herself. Like, it should have been very rare moments where Cloud needed to save Tifa. But that might just be me. Maybe I'm just remembering Tifa incorrectly, and maybe she was just another damsel in distress. Which, I mean, I'm okay with. Well, I'm okay with damsels in distress and whatnot. But I don't know, the way I imagine Tifa, I imagine her being a lot stronger than that. Barrett was great. I thought he was a little too over the top in the beginning. But at the same time, that probably is just because I like he's voiced now, and he probably was just as over the top in the original game, and like I kind of vaguely remember that he was pretty over the top in the original game. So yeah, that's that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Yeah, you're right. Flying enemies are dumb. I think it's super dumb that you have an entire enemy type that you have very little options of dealing with. Basically, they are always weak to either wind and maybe lightning, because they're either a fucking bird or a machine. And you have to have wind or lightning. But most of the time, like, you don't get wind until much later in the game. So you have to fucking wait a long time before you get wind. So you can't deal with a lot of those enemies for a long time. So you can't stagger them. But even then, like, I remember, like, there's a couple of times where, like, all right, cool, I got wind. So you wind, and then it's like, oh, but they fly away. It's like, what the fuck? And then the fact that your abilities don't affect them either. It's just like, then... So I just have to fucking, exactly. Basic attacks are pretty shitty. So, but basic attacks are your only options. So that's why I was like, okay, I was really happy that when I equipped Barret with Elemental and Wind, I was like, oh cool, I can fucking finally deal with this shit. But even then, I was just like, this is not fun. So I think it's really dumb that you design an entire enemy type, but had very little in terms of figuring out how, very little options in dealing with them. And that goes back into the original problem about this battle system. There's not enough options with dealing with characters, or there's too many options, but none of them are effective enough. They don't feel effective. You don't feel like you're really dishing out the damage, and you're really doing something that feels like you're doing something. I'm just like chipping away at your health. Yep, the ones that get staggered and have pushback, I think, are really stupid. I really hate that, like, everything fucking stuns or staggers you. Like, I get, like, some of your abilities are not staggerable, which I kind of noticed. But then, like, yeah, I don't know. I started noticing that, like, you can interrupt people's skills, which was kind of cool, but that should have been something. That should have been a gameplay aspect right there, where if you interrupt enemies' abilities, it gives you a huge amount of stagger. Like, that would have been really fucking cool. Like, I would have liked, that would have forced me to one, realize that sooner, that I can interrupt their abilities, and two, actually start focusing on that and doing that. Like, that would have been that would have been such an awesome gameplay mechanic. That would have really had you really think, and maybe, like, they could have made it so, like, certain abilities that enemies do only get staggered by certain other abilities. So then you have to really concentrate. I'm like, oh, it's that ability. I gotta use this skill to interrupt it. Oh, it's that ability. I gotta use this other skill to interrupt it. That would have been. It makes you think. You start thinking. You start strategizing. You start preparing. The gears start turning in your head. Like, that would have been fun. Yeah, no, the enemies that push you back when you stagger, the staggers that last literally milliseconds, that just immediately disappear. Like, when your entire mechanic is based around the fact that you have to stagger your enemies, but then you take away that reward. You take away the reward that you've set up to your player, I think is just a terrible, terrible thing to do. It's like saying, hey, do this thing to win the game. Oh, you did the thing? Well, guess what? You lost. But you literally told me that that's how I was supposed to win. Oh, just kidding. Well, exactly. No, exactly. That's a problem. That's bad design. That's bad understanding of how your system works and being able to communicate that to your player. You have to be able to communicate how your system works steadily throughout the game. That's what enemy encounters are for. That's what boss encounters are for. That's how you teach the player how to utilize the system to their advantage so that the player can feel competent. So the player can gain competence to get better at the game. That's what you do. That's how you teach them. That's how you get better. You have a specific enemy and be like, oh, you have to beat this boss in a very specific way. But then you find out, like, oh, that specific way that you have to beat that boss, you can do that to other enemies too, or, like, certain other enemies, and now you know how to deal with those enemies easier. And the player's like, oh, shit, I know how to deal with those enemies really easily because I fought that boss and I kicked his ass, so I'm going to start doing it against these enemies too. Look at that. I dealt with those enemies really easily. I'm so good at this game. That's the point. That's how games are made. That's what you do with games. You want to make the player feel good. You want to make them feel positive. You want to make them feel competent. Not necessarily powerful. You don't necessarily need to give them a power fantasy all the time. You just need to make them feel competent, feel like they actually accomplished something and did something. I don't know. Maybe I just suck at this game or something. Maybe I don't understand. I just didn't understand the system very well. But like, I felt I was getting trampled on a lot. But mostly, or I guess it was just only bosses really. Most normal enemies I didn't have a problem. Yeah, no, normal enemies I didn't have a problem with at all. It was just bosses. Yeah, no, I guess you're right. It's just bosses, and bosses are just again, like, they're just annoying. Yeah, I root force everything because I didn't care. I didn't care about the system. The system didn't feel like it was rewarding me for understanding it. And like, I think that's the other problem. Like a lot of like the enemies, there was too many enemies that just moved way too much. Like they had way too many movement options, and they didn't have clear moments where like I knew I can counterattack them at that point. So I don't know. I don't know. Alright, I guess I'll save the game. Yeah, no, I mean, exactly. So I stopped doing that. I stopped, like, saving up my limit breaks and saving my ATB bars to, like, deal huge amounts of damage. Because it didn't feel rewarding. It didn't feel rewarding to do that against bosses, especially the story bosses. And then same thing with the, like I said, I don't know. I didn't feel rewarded. I didn't feel like I was learning the system very well. I didn't feel like I was utilizing anything. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm done. I'll play some more of this game, I guess. I'll try to go through hard mode, but I don't know. I'm missing 2 odd jobs? Okay. Oh, I'm only missing 4 enemies? That's pretty good. Oh, no. I'm missing, like, a lot of enemies to be assessed. Wait, weapon abilities learned 22 of 24? Is like a new... So 2 weapons. Alright, I'm missing 2 weapons. System. Oh shit, I'm missing a shit ton of manuscripts. Holy crap. Oh, sweet, I'm only missing 2 music discs. There's only 4 enemy skills to learn. Okay. Gotta obtain all the dresses. Chapter 14 resolutions witnessed. Huh. Don't remember those resolutions. What the fuck was that? Huh. I guess I just didn't. Okay. I'm done. Okay. Okay. I'll probably look it up later and do it if I need to. Still only missing 2. How much did we get done? We're getting there, I guess. I guess it's a lot faster in hard mode, or just in post game because I can. I get that AP bonus. Yeah, I'm sure like it doesn't even need to be in hard mode because they were saying that where is it? There it is. So yeah, now XP is twice as fast and AP is 3 times as fast. So yeah. I mean, it's nice that they include hard mode, but I don't know why they had to fucking make hard mode you can't use items. That's kind of annoying. But we'll see. Yeah, that's annoying. Like that's just annoying. Oh shit, really? Only HP? I also hate that like once you use refocus, like or refocus isn't even until the end of the battle. It actually has a time limit. I think that's so stupid. Refocus is stupid. All right. I think that's enough. I think we're good. Oh. What day is it? Today's Thursday, right? Yeah, it's Thursday right now. Okay. I'm tired. We'll be back on Saturday. We'll play some Gundam. Saturday and Sunday. And then we'll see what happens. We'll see how life treats me. That's been Final Fantasy 7. Hope you guys had a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you, Miku, for pretty much joining me this entire time, this entire way. I'm amazed that you decided to stick with me for the full 43 plus hours I've been playing this game. Arcanine, as always, thank you so much for all of the raids and just being here. You're awesome. I hope you enjoyed the game. I hope you enjoyed the game a lot. I'll keep my opinion to myself until you finish the game. We can talk about it later. Yeah, pretty much. We're all done. We're all done here. I mean, like, it's 3 a.m. I gotta go to bed. I'm also starving, so I'm gonna eat something real quick and then hit the sack. But yeah, I'll be back on Saturday. We'll play some Moxie Boost on. Hopefully, you and me, Arcanine, can like team up and stuff. That'd be really cool. We'll figure that out. We'll try to like plan that and whatnot. But yeah, I will see you guys on Saturday. I hope you guys have a great, day for you, Arcanine. Thanks so much. And Mickey, you as well. Have a good rest of your day. I think it's daytime over in Japan, isn't it? Love you guys. Have a good one. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Bye-bye.